problems, worries, sadness? Are you seeking solutions?
Bible says,
Do not be anxious about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Choose faith over fear.
There is much good news around us. People are seeking and finding meaning and purpose in their heart. They are encountering the transcendent. The invitation for us is to be open in these marketplace times, to search and learn with them. We are breaking open encounter in the marketplace of our life, where we find ourselves in the day by day. The word magus means more. How do we touch into the transcendent that speaks to our heart? In this day, we've come to a point where the majority of people within our world may look at us, at our way of looking at things, and that we've got no answers to the real life questions that the majority of people engage with day by day. When you are uncertain, you often cling to the easy answer. Living in the marketplace, in the grey of life, is much harder, but it's much more real. It is an authentic way of being. So in this film, I want to explore a little the search for meaning in today's world. And one of the ways I want to do this is through a sense of what I'm going to call an in point. Entry points to deeper meaning, purpose on life's journey. Those moments and experiences that help us glimpse magus, more, that go deeper, that tickle us and point us to the transcendent, to an experience of God. So we'll break open those in points soon. They are moments of potential evangelization. People are seeking and finding meaning and purpose in their heart. They are encountering the transcendent. The invitation for us is to be open in these marketplace times, to search and learn with them. So what are some of these in points to the transcendent, to more? Nature is one of them. I have a beautiful memory. I was working in Auckland, and I was working with a group of about 35 or so students, and one night rather, 4 of the young men came to me and said, "Sir, can we get up early tomorrow morning and can we go for some sort of a run?" So I said, "Oh, sure." So I came into the morning meal, and all the 30 or so young people were kind of gathered around a couple of the boys' phones. And on the phones, they'd taken photos of sunrise over the harbour in Auckland. It was magnificent. The golds and the purples and the reds. And the young people were going, wow. So the following day, the students all came to me and said, "Sir, can we get up at 4:30 and go down and watch the sun come up?" So they all did, and we all got up really early, and down we went to the side of the harbour, to this beautiful area. There was a lovely little beach and grass. And the 35 of us or so watched as the sun came up. And there was this beautiful feeling. There was absolute silence. There was a sense of awe, a sense of something more. And when the students reflected on their 2 or 3 days, that moment was one of the special heart times. So nature can be a real entry point for God to come into our spirit, or for us to be aware of the presence of something more. Good ritual and the use of symbol can be another powerful in-point. Years ago, I took students to the World Youth Day, and one time it was over Paris. And on our way to World Youth Day, the group I was with, we went to the monks in the community at a Taizé. And here were the young people sitting for hour on end with candles, with darkness, with the cross, with the icons, with the beautiful, beautiful chanting. And I remember looking around at the young people, and there was something in the symbols, in the ritual, in the darkness and the light that was touching their hearts. It was an in-point to the kind of transcendent. Similar to what we experience at the Easter night, when the candle comes into the room, the Alpha and the Omega, Christ our light, and each of us holds our small candle. It's a powerful time of symbol, ritual. It touches hearts. And I can remember as a small boy, that's one of the highlights of my time. I used to look forward to it. It was truly beautiful, and I can remember feeling a sense of more. Mages. Another powerful endpoint is community, to belong. And the number of times I've been with young people, I was at World Youth Day down in Sydney, and I remember the young people staying up the whole night and singing and being with one another and singing these beautiful songs. Earlier in the year, I had the honour of being over in Rome, and in St. Peter's Square, there was a group of young South American people, and they were on a pilgrimage, and a couple of them had a guitar, and the others were doing a dance, a circle dance, and they were singing. There was a sense of belonging, a sense of community. So that belonging, that sense of community is a major point, a point of more. Another endpoint is service. People want to make a difference. So for many years, the St. Vincent de Paul Society, and there have been vans that have gone out with the homeless, and Orange Sky. All over the world, there have been volunteers who've worked in soup kitchens, volunteered in very poor communities. And that sense of service, when you're with the refugee, when you're with the asylum seeker, when you're with the homeless, when you're in the poor community, there is something more. It's that sense of in giving, we receive. The challenge we face is, how do we take that beautiful endpoint of justice and service and link it to the gospel? Significant life events can be an endpoint, a powerful one. Birth and death, commitment, these times can touch our heart. Recently, a young old boy of mine died, aged 42, and I had the honour of presiding at the funeral service. It was a powerful moment of meaning, connecting. Many years ago, my sister-in-law gave birth, and she wrote a letter to me. And in this letter, my sister-in-law said, "Till the day I die, Damien, I will never forget the joy of holding my son in my arms for the first time. Having a baby would have to be one of the deepest emotional experiences to a woman, and the most beautiful." And Karma went on and said, "A newborn almost transports you into another world, away from inflation and greed and violence, and leaves you laughing." And when you think about it some more, a baby would have to be the greatest teacher of us all. In that, he teaches us to find joy in all the simple little things. Carmel's little boy showed them for the first time that the garden is a wonderful place, that the kitchen even more exciting to be explored, and bath time is splash time with a capital S. What Karma was doing was reflecting upon a powerful life experience. All of us have those. So another entry point for the Transcendent is for us to engage with those special moments and link them to the gospel and to the heart of what we are about. These moments, these transcendent points, are where in the marketplace we have to experience. We're called to experience God. Witness and story can be another powerful endpoint. I always say, when in doubt, share a story. A young old boy of mine who was a very good football player, and he was driving over a bridge, and his vehicle ran into a truck, or a truck ran into him. And the young man was trapped for many hours. And he was told he would never walk again. I invited him back to talk to the students at the school where I was. And the young men are there, and he came in and he began to tell his story of trying to learn how to walk, the battle just to take one step at a time. How after a month or two, he made his way to the window in the hospital ward, and he saw the beautiful sunrise. As my friend shared story, it spoke to the heart. A powerful endpoint can be the sharing of story, witness. Too often we stay here. Can we go down into our hearts? And as we gather as a community of faith, can we share story from the heart? And when we do, it will somehow touch something special within. These endpoints are so simple. They're not extraordinary things. It's somehow finding the God, this entry point, this end point in the everyday. Stillness and silence is another end point. Often when I'm working on a retreat with your students, I will end the day and I'll have a Christ candle in the middle of the room, and then I'll just have silence. Or I'll have the students go out and lie on the grass on a field and look up at the stars. Maybe I might pray a psalm. But the beauty of the stars, the silence, speaks to them. Another time I had a group of students, and all week they'd been working with some students from a special school. So I got the students to gather around a Christ candle, and they got a little candle like this, and they named one of the young people from the special school that they had worked with. And they just held the candle, held the young person in their hearts, in the silence. It was powerful. They could sense that it was sacred ground. I played a song, John Michael Talbot, "This is Holy Ground." And as I looked around that room at the students, not saying a word, just being there in the silence. Meditation's another powerful input, and so many people around our world begin and end their day by going within. A mentor who walks with you can be a great person, a great in-point to a sense of more. And you and I in the marketplace, maybe we're called to be that mentor. Personal experience. You know, our own experiences of awe and joy and pain. Every year around our world, the actual Camino, thousands of people walk it. There's a great experience as they walk a pilgrimage walk. And our feelings, particularly if they're linked to these other things, can be a great point for more, for awe, for wonder that takes you beyond where you are. The kind of awe I talked about when you venerate the cross on Good Friday, or you light your little candle in the darkened church on Easter night. These are awe moments. They are beautiful times to experience more. The theology we've spoken about here of guest and presence, compassion, that could be a powerful in-point too. When I've used that language with the students as they work on soup vans and things, they engage with it. It gives their life meaning. It is a ladder to experience what's in the heart. So all we've tried to say is that in this marketplace, we've perceived as having quite a narrow definition of what is spiritual. And if we're not in this quite narrow experience, we're not spiritual, we're not a religious person. And I'm suggesting that in the marketplace at this time, young people, and not just young people, are finding meaning in so many ways: community, silence, stillness, service, ritual, life experiences. And that our invitation is to engage those experiences, to make that a part of who we are and what we do. So many people who have walked away will look back and say, hey, I will find meaning there. And then the God beyond all names will smile and dance.
Shalom World brings to you the Catholic faith in all its different dimensions. It can be a faith to inspire you in your own living of your Catholic life in society. Shalom World offers you an opportunity of being enriched and strengthened in your family life. We live in a culture that needs to have a Catholic presence. We live in a culture that needs to be evangelized by the presence of Catholic teaching and the inspiration to live according to our Catholic way of life. I recommend to you to be involved in the work of Shalom World. May the Lord bless you and bless the work of Shalom World. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.